Welcome, welcome, welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me High Key, Kiki. Okay. Happy full moon in Capricorn. Oh my goodness. Like, yeah. Can we get excited about that? Happy full moon. So, all right, we know that full moons are a time for illumination, putting the spotlight on things that could be hidden, could be our emotions, could be things that are happening at home or behind closed doors, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, right? So, full moons are times for us to release and celebrate what we're making room for, okay? And in Capricorn, the full moon will be highlighting, Capricorn has that like disciplined, routine, determined kind of energy, right? So this moon, depending on where it falls and in what house it falls for you, it could be spotlighting an area of your life where you could, be clearing out some blockages towards being more practical, being more realistic, being more about reputation, structure, responsibility, maybe independence. Okay, Capricorn's an earth sign. I'm trying to think if they are cardinal or fixed, but earth signs are very, grounded, very, they're workers of the earth. They are not afraid to work. They are about work. um, just having they could be very focused on their professional life and things like that. So this moon could be highlighting, depending on what house it falls for you. It could just be highlighting some areas that we could be clearing out and making room for new. All right, so let's just go ahead really quickly and ground our energy. Okay, just go ahead and take a few deep breaths in through the nose. Long exhale out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let yourself just get more and more relaxed with each exhale, releasing stress and tension. Continuing to breathe in deeply and slowly releasing. Allow yourself to just get used to the feeling of letting go. Like allowing all of yourself to just rest, relax, and just sink into Mother Earth, into her loving, abundant support, the overflow of her nurturing. Just allow yourself to melt into it. Okay? With every exhale, you get more and more freedom. release, clarity. If you're feeling anything rising up in your body, just allow yourself to continue to breathe into the space, breathe into that area. And each time you breathe out and exhale, see any darkness or tightness. See it start to fade. Allow it to become lighter, brighter, clearer. And connecting with that energy of clearing out. Just take a moment to call in our spirit teams of divine love and healing light. Thank Mother Earth for always being our source of grounding. We feel safe, supported, and grounded. We thank you. It is done. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Okay. All right. So let's start with the sky. Did I leave I think I probably left my cheat sheet upstairs. But okay. Mercury. Mercury, where are you? Mercury is currently in Leo. He's been there for a little while, and he'll actually go into retrograde on the 17th. Mercury will go into retrograde on the 17th of July in 15 degrees of Leo. So, of course, retrogrades are a time for revisiting, refining, reevaluating. Okay? And Leo is a sign that is a fire sign. I believe a cardinal fire sign. We're going into Leo season soon. And it's almost like the energy of Leo season has already been heightened and elevated. But Leo is that, leader. They are confident, proud, So Mercury transiting Leo from now until Mercury moves pretty quickly. He moves the fastest of all the signs. But he usually stays in a sign, I believe, for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. About 2 weeks, rather. So here he is. Mercury will be shifting into. No, that's not right. That's not Mercury. Never mind. I'll tell you where Mercury is ending. I just don't want to keep flipping through here. But Mercury will probably be in retrograde for about 3 weeks. And then he'll be shifting from Leo into Virgo Okay. Oh, you know what? I actually do have something here. Oh, it's 11:11. We thank you, God, for union, celebration, partnership, love, stability, happiness, peace, prosperity, overflow. We thank you for it all. Amen. I hope you talk to your angel numbers. You thank them for being a sign that we're on the right path. Okay. You have the power to speak to those numbers whenever you see them. Okay, so like I mentioned, Mercury spends about this says 15 to 30 days, but I know it's probably about 2 to 3 weeks in a sign, okay? So Mercury transiting Leo, like I said, Mercury, that planet of communication, thought, information, technology, transportation, all things like written and movement and flow, is transiting through a sign of, like I said, confidence, charisma, leadership oriented, creative. So this energy is going to be supportive of us being confident in our communication, confident in our words, being impeccable with our words. That's the first of the 4 agreements. This energy is supporting us in, just standing more firm with the power of our word. We could be writing, we could be doing a lot of things when it comes to language, word, letter, black and white, eyes and dotting our I's and crossing our T's kind of energy, right? Um, finding a lot of security and confidence in that. All right. So that's Mercury. I do have another. Here we go. Just want to have all of my options up because we don't want to miss a thing, because the purpose of this is to time our best life and to allow us to not just be in harmony when things are going well and we're growing, but to also be in harmony when we're being challenged, being able to embrace our challenges, see them as opportunities for growth, and then be able to turn them into purpose and or profit. Okay, so Mercury, like I said, right now is in Leo. It'll be in Leo until July 27th, and in retrograde starting on the 17th and ending on August 10th. So he possibly could retrograde back into Cancer on the 27th. And then when he retrogrades and he comes out of Cancer, when he comes out of retrograde on the 10th of August, he could move either back into Leo or into Virgo. I could click on my chart, but it's no need for us to go that far. Right now, this is the energy. The energy is Mercury being in Leo, and we'll be going in retrograde on the 17th. We'll be also celebrating the first quarter moon next week on the 17th. So we'll talk more about that Mercury retrograde, but that retrograde will be a time we'll probably be taking a pause maybe on our communication, this confidence and this assertiveness that we've taken with our words and our language, and maybe even our teachings and our learning, this openness and embracing that we have it with that right now. We'll probably take a pause. Once this retrograde comes in, we may pull that back a little bit. We could probably go a little more within. We could become probably a little quieter and maybe not talking as much. There could be possibly more writing, but it's definitely going to allow us to possibly sit back and reflect on what we have been saying, what we may not have been saying, and then coming up with something new, being more creative in our language, more creative in our communication, more creative in our talk. And hopefully that's resonating for people, because I know with me being ruled by Mercury, I have noticed that my language definitely has been more confident. There's a now that you've expanded yourself, now you can respond to things from a higher vibration. You can respond to things from a more high level perspective or mindset, because you're not looking at it from a lower vibration. Hopefully that resonates. So that's one of the ways I can say that I feel this energy. And Leo might be, oh yeah. Leo could Leo rules my third house of communication. So that's what this is about for me. So I hope that you're feeling confident in your word. And if you're not, this energy is here to support you that way. Okay, so you can set an intention to connect and align with this full moon Capricorn energy, and Mercury being in the sign of Leo right now. You could be, allowing yourself to call in um, affirmations that start with "I speak," and it could be things like "I speak life," "I speak light," "I speak love," "I speak peace," "I speak prosperity." Like you could be calling in this energy and connecting with that spirit of speaking, whether it be publicly, whether it just be directed to a certain person. It could be yourself, it could be a spirit, it could be a generational wound. But many of us our voices are being lifted. We're feeling more confident in our talk. Okay. So that's where Mercury is at the moment. Venus has just shifted into Gemini. Okay. And Venus will be in the sign of Gemini until July 30th. All right. And then she'll move into Cancer. So Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money, attraction, harmony, relationships, it's moved into the planet or into the sign of communication, adaptability, intellectuality, curiosity. All right. So this is also like, given that Mercury in Leo energy, like fuel. Like I said, this has emotional intelligence written all over it. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling very powerful in your charm, in your wit. Okay, not to be a jerk or to be manipulative, but to be creative, to be capable of holding space, to be able to understand that two things can be true and to be able to see things from different perspectives. Okay, that that's the energy I'm getting with Venus and Gemini. All right. um who else? Mars is currently in Virgo and will be in Virgo until April 4th. Okay, I won't go too far into that because Mars isn't doing too much shifting at the moment. Yeah. All right. Jupiter is also going to be where he is for a while. Jupiter moved into the sign of Cancer on June 9th and will be there until June 29th. Jupiter will stay in a sign for about uh, a year. Jupiter has a very beautiful energy, a very big, expansive, overflowing, full of growth kind of energy. But Jupiter is very wise, very grounded, um, and really doesn't take a whole lot of crap. So when Jupiter comes in, yes, he can create overflow and abundance, but he's going to push you to grow. He's going to possibly challenge you if you've been stagnant. So being in Cancer also gives me another breakthrough energy or expansive energy in emotion, heart space, feelings, love, okay, harmony, balance, relationship, that kind of energy. It's like emotions are like building, okay. And then we have Saturn, who is currently in Aries and will be there until 2028. However, Saturn is going into a retrograde on July 12th. All right, Saturn is a planet of structure, responsibility, karma, karmic lessons, dharma. What else? So, going into a retrograde, we're going to, wow, I get a very, I don't know what it is. It's like it's a surprise, but it's like a damn. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't hurt, but it's more like a eek kind of energy. When I get this Saturn retrograde. So retrograde, reflecting on your karma, reflecting on your structures, reflecting on your responsibilities, revisiting your personal goals. What are you building? What are you changing? What are you transforming? How are you being challenged? Are you challenging yourself? Okay. And Saturn, is a planet that will also, of course, stay in a sign for like 2.5 to 3 years. So in retrogrades, Saturn retrogrades can last a while. And so this retrograde will last until November 27th of this year. Okay, so that's about 4 months. Okay, a little over 4 months of a Saturn retrograde. So if you're feeling challenged to be more disciplined or to take more responsibility, it could also be a time to call you to be more authentic, to be more grounded, more like patient, but also like forcing you to kind of evaluate the lessons you've learned. Okay, that's what this energy calls, and that's starting on the 12th. Okay, that's the next big event after this Capricorn full moon. And then next week I mentioned the Mercury retrograde on the 17th, but we will be celebrating that day anyway. Uranus just shifted into Gemini during the 7-7 portal. Very, very powerful energy of shifts, surprises. Uranus being that planet of like sudden change, is here to stay in Gemini for the next 7 years. Okay, he'll go into retrograde, but he'll be in Gemini for the next 7 years. The last time that Uranus was in Gemini was 84 years ago. Okay, between 1941 and 1949, which between 1941 and 49 and the years before where Uranus was in Gemini, the U.S. was at war, from what I've learned and what I've seen historically. So I don't know what that means. Hopefully, it doesn't mean what it looks like. There's something that might not be the same, but I mean, the way that it's going, we see that it could be possible. Okay. Uranus will go into a retrograde, and he'll go retrograde back into Taurus in September. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then Neptune is in Aries. He'll be there. Oh, this no. This happened earlier this year. Neptune shifted earlier this year. Somebody else just moved. Pluto. Yeah. Oh, Neptune went into retrograde. That's what it is. Neptune went into retrograde on the 4th of July. And a Neptune retrograde is also another reevaluating of I want to say your psychic abilities, your intuition, your spiritual gifts, your clairs, kind of pulling you back to hone in and refine your gifts and your craft. Maybe going a little bit deeper, doing more meditation, or opening yourself up to other practices, or expanding your rituals, expanding your daily routines, your morning routine, your evening routine, just allowing yourself to open up. Yeah, it just feels like a lot of cracking open, cracking open. Okay, so just to give everybody an idea of what is happening here. So Capricorn, of course, this moon is highlighting your first house of self, identity, appearance, first impressions. Okay. So this is a place where you may see, or you may want to release some wounds. You may want to release what's blocking you from being your true self, your authentic self. Maybe you may be looking at some areas or some wounds that may not be healed or need a little more healing. Something where you are kind of like reflecting on your image, your reputation, what you look like to people, to others, what how you come off. Okay, so yeah, Capricorn, yeah, this moon is highlighting your first house. So Aquarius, this moon will be highlighting your 12th house of the unconscious, the subconscious. So this moon could be calling for you to reflect on your own thoughts, your own discernment. You could be being called to elevate your spiritual practice, hone in more on your gifts. Just this is a time for you to maybe revisit and reflect on, or just release blockages mostly that are stopping you from diving more deeply, intuitively, more going deeper into your spiritual connection, your relationship with the Most High, with the divine, with God, with your spiritual team, your guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters, your spiritual team. It's also a house of isolation, could be illusionment, and a house of hidden enemies. So it could be exposing something that was hidden, enemies, frenemies that were hidden. Could have been a reason why you might have been isolating yourself or feel isolated. Okay, so allow that to, if that's a challenging energy, allow yourself to sit with it, feel it, talk to it, ask it questions, but recognize that it will pass. Okay, and then take the lesson with you and apply it. All right. Pisces, this moon will be highlighting your 10th house of career, public life, reputation as well. Heavy on reputation right now. Capricorn is all about reputation. So this moon could be highlighting some areas where you may not feel confident, disciplined. You may not feel very grounded at work. You might be concerned about how you're looked at or perceived. You could also this could be asking you to question whether or not you have a issue with authority. And listen, this could be triggering what I'm about to say. Sometimes if you're a man or even a woman, when we have issues with authority, sometimes it could be like a daddy wound, like a father wound. Okay. So there could be some type of like, if that's the case, like a wounding. I was getting wounding earlier. But if there's a wound there, the way to work through that, another thing you can add to the being still and sitting with the emotion, not becoming the emotion, but to just sit with it, feel it, not be afraid of it, and to ask it why, you know, and to sit long enough for answers. But the other thing that we could do is an inner child healing. And these type of things could really be a journal prompt, answering a question, about your childhood, answering a question, working through a visualization or a meditation, a guided meditation. There's so many different things you could do with a meditation when it comes to inner child healing. But when I see the authority, it makes me think of daddy or daddy issues. I think that that's where most people get their respect for authority from, is that father figure. Mamas, it can be something that we get from our mamas too, but that's a typical masculine type of energy. This water is so good. But anyway, so yeah, that's it for Pisces. Who else? Aries. This moon is highlighting your ninth house of philosophy, higher ed. It could be religion, long distance travel, like beliefs. Learning as well. But for Aries, you could be being called to go to the next step, go to the next level. It's time for you to like level up. You're learning. Maybe you're being called to get back to reading, read more, read again. Maybe, traveling, or, because sometimes I feel like when I travel, I read more. Like if I'm on a plane or on a beach or by a pool or something, I'll read. You could be called to go on vacation or like to travel. But a lot of what's happening in the sky right now is calling for a lot of us to expand spiritually, to open ourselves up spiritually. And I want to tell you that usually when we do that, you open yourself up for more overflow and abundance. And when you have overflow and abundance of peace, you have overflow and abundance of prosperity. It's like an attraction. It can't help but to run after you because your vibration is so high that you deserve it. So it comes and chases you down. And I really hope that you are feeling the overflow and the blessings. And a lot of times it's not always about money. Of course, money is great here on earth, but we do have to become that energetic match to it as well. We have to not just be able to attract the money, but know how to keep the money, know how to keep the money coming. Okay. But there's definitely like an awakening, a call of opening our eyes, like our third eye. Okay. So who's next? Taurus. Taurus, this moon will be highlighting your 8th house of transformation, rebirth, um, shared resources, inheritance, sex. So, Taurus, where where have you been blocked with making changes? Where have you been blocked with stepping into your next level? What's stopping you? What's being illuminated for you when it comes to shared resources? Are there areas where your shared resources are blocked or non-existent, or are there areas where shared resources need to be rebalanced? Is there something that you're being called to do when it comes to like long-term wealth, long-term planning, inheritances, whether it be putting things in place for you, your child, or your parents putting things in place? Okay. Getting things in order sometimes around like insurance, life insurance, uh, things that like end of life things, like just putting things in order. All right. Gemini, this, oh my goodness. This moon is highlighting your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, marriage, one-on-one situations. Huh. So, what's been holding you back in marriage, relationships? What do you want to shine a light on? What do you want to clear away? What do you want to release? What do you want to make room for? Maybe you want to make room for marriage, one-on-one partnership. Maybe you want to manifest communication, manifest like joint ventures, like things you can do together, like teamwork, team building, but like business as well. Could be like a business partnership. It also has the energy of like you could do business with your partner. Okay. Um Cancer, this moon is in direct opposition and is highlighting your 6th house of health and work, your daily routines, your work habits, your work environment, the service that you provide. This moon is highlighting those areas. So you could be being called to be more disciplined at work, more like this energy could be supportive as well of allowing you to get into a better rhythm and routine. Okay, so that you have a better attitude when you're at work, which helps your work environment not be as stressful, and it helps you when it comes to getting along or working with others. Okay. I can see this energy being kind of in flow, hopefully, and kind of at ease, at least when it comes to the exposure. I think the exposure of whatever it is going to be understood and well received. Like, you're not going to be surprised. You're going to be, you kind of know what it is and what you need to do. And just hopefully this energy will like give you the push you need to move into that. All right. Leo, this moon is highlighting your fifth house, which in general, Leo could rule the fifth house. Right? No. Never mind. Scratch it. Actually, no. I'm right. I'm right. Yeah. Yes, I'm totally right. Yes, but the house of creativity. Okay. I don't know why I thought of like dollhouse. Wow. Like a boutique or whatever, like a fashion house. I thought of clothes. But um are you being called to step up? Are you being called to do more or go back into your creativity? Maybe there's something that you used to do that made you feel jovial, made you feel rejuvenated. Like, maybe it's something you dreamt of as a child. It's something that made me make you feel, like you're in your soft girl era, or you're in your, I don't know what the equal and opposite is for excuse me, for masculine energy when it comes to soft girl era. But you may be just chilling. You may be in a chill mode. You may be very in touch with your emotions. You know how to embrace your emotions, as a masculine. Like, you're not being misogynistic or abusive because you just think that that's the way to be masculine, is to just have an unlimited amount of testosterone. But for masculine, you could be in a space where you're very chill, like you're cool with being creative. You could be painting, you could be doing murals, you could be someone like, you do things with children, or you take children out for play, or maybe children play like sports or something. Like, you have a way of being able to tap back into your childhood. And you could be romantic, you could be a hopeless romantic, but you could be someone who just has like a stilo where your vibe, like, very classy, very chill, laid back, reserved, which comes off very romantic and has like a sex appeal. So, hoping that this energy, at least for Cancers and Leos, because both of these energies have been so powerful over the past couple weeks, especially as the month of July has come in. I hope that you're feeling this energy in harmony. I hope that you're feeling like this spirit coming into you as a blessing. Okay. Virgo, this moon is highlighting. Hold on. Did I screw up? That's 7. Oh shit. Leo, was that your 6th house? No? Oh crap, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. Leo, this is your 6th house. Did I skip one? Hold on. 1, 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Maybe I'm trying. 12, 8, 7. So Cancer, this is your 7th house. So this is your 7th house of partnerships. This is Leo's 6th house. Hold on. Oh, I skipped the 11th house. Damn. I screwed up real bad. Real bad. But I'll just run through them real quickly. So Aquarius, like I mentioned, that was correct. This moon is highlighting your 12th house of the unconscious. Pisces, this moon is highlighting your 11th house of friendships, community, social networks, and your goals for the future. Totally jacked this up from the beginning. So Pisces, that is for you. Okay, Aries, this moon is highlighting your 10th house of career and public life, your authority and reputation. What areas do you know, where you might have, you might want to clear some things out for your reputation and reputational purposes, but you could also be working through some issues with authority. Okay, Taurus, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Sorry. The house of philosophy, your 9th house. This moon is highlighting your 9th house, your higher education, long distance travel, and religion. Okay, these are all areas where we want to manifest. We have disconnected from what is no longer serving our best and highest good, and we are reconnecting or allowing ourselves to culminate what is, and we've made room for it, and we're already celebrating it and connecting with the energy of it so that we can bring it right on in. All right, it's hard sometimes when you go backwards on these things. 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Gemini, this moon is highlighting your house of transformation, shared resources, inheritance, death and rebirth, sex. Um, what's blocking you? Maybe you are or need to be focused on getting things in place and in order. Okay. Uh, Cancer. Yeah. So this moon is highlighting your 7th house of relationships, marriage, and one-on-one partnerships. Okay. This, yes. What's blocking you from relationships, partnerships? What areas, what things do you want to bring in and manifest? What have you cleared away and made room for? What have you healed and set boundaries on? All right. And then Leo, this moon is highlighting your 6th house of health and work, daily routines, work environments. You know, what do you want to release when it comes to things that are stopping you from being more healthy, being more in routine? Um, creating a better workspace, better work environment, being a better team player, being a better co-worker. What do you want to bring in? Virgo, this moon is highlighting your fifth house of creativity, romance, children, and play. Okay, you could be being called to go back or revisit a passion of yours, start that over, maybe a new passion. Maybe you're clearing something out, or you're not doing something you used to do a long time ago, and now you're doing something new. All right, Libra, this moon is highlighting your fourth house of home, family, roots, your inner emotions. Hmm. This could be like, this says to me like clearing out. I get a little inner child here, but I also get like roots, like grounding work, generational curses, patterns. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to release? What are you tired of carrying over and over and over from oh, from family, like drama or family patterns, sicknesses? Okay. Um, Scorpio, this moon is highlighting your third house of communication, short trips or travel, siblings, your local environment. And this is just asking you, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from speaking up? What's stopping you from taking the trip? What's stopping you from, is there a sibling that you need to have a conversation with? What, like, is there something going on in your like community or like your immediate surroundings that you want to change or shift, or you have disconnected and detached from, and now you're manifesting like a new energy? You want something, you want to change. You want to change in how things are done. Okay. And then Sagittarius, this moon is highlighting your second house of value, your personal resources, your money, your self-worth, what you bring to the table. So you could be just reevaluating like the type of partner you are. You could be stepping into your worth, like you know your value. This moon could be shining a light on some areas that maybe you could do better, or maybe you could balance, or like maybe you're like starting to recognize some balance or wanting some balance, or you're figuring out how to balance things out for yourself where you're not overextending yourself, but then you could also be recognizing what you want to be more of, what you want to do more of, how you want to be able to show up. You could be realizing some areas where you may not have felt very valuable, and you want to change that. And then we've already talked to Capricorn. All right, so that's what's going on in the sky. That took an hour. We covered the next week, so that's good. And now we can pull from our Moonology. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, Holy Spirit, ancestors, divine love, and healing light. Please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door. In the name above all names. Amen. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got a few that jumped out. So this is the first. Yo, don't let pride get in your way. It's out here for the third time in a row. Full moon in Leo. Now, we don't get a full moon in Leo till what? Aquarius season? But I'm gonna read this. Look, this also came out recently. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. And then we got, oh, it's just two. Oh, good. Maybe I can read all of these. But we've kind of done this. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. And then be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. Now, I don't think I've had this be bold and make the first move card. So I probably would read that one too. And look at here. We got full moon in Virgo and we got full moon in Leo. Hmm. Okay. Okay. And then let's see the bottom. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. North Node is currently in Pisces. What's sticking out? Surrender to the divine, full moon. Full moons are powerful. Let's see. Capricorn. Is Capricorn a cardinal or fixed earth? Cardinal. Initiators and leaders. Cardinal signs are initiators of the zodiac, action-oriented, dynamic, and ambitious. Often natural leaders, motivated to start new projects, set goals, and push forward with their ideas. They represent the energy of new beginnings and are connected to the change of seasons. They like to take charge, initiate change, and set things in motion. That's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. One of each element. Oh, I already read it. Okay, let's read. Don't let pride get in your way. Eek, eek, eek. I got a feeling that this could be talking to me. Because, yeah, it done came out so many times. Don't let pride get in your way. Oh, Bitcoin is up 5% to $117,000. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're asking about based on your ego or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big hearted king of the jungle, the lion. Its energy is magnificent, but when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for the greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, this is the time to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of the people around you. This will help all your relationships. Attune to the moon. Be magnificent without being plain too much. Additional meanings for this card. Self-esteem is good, vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed. Work some magic. A friendship may be ending now. The teaching. When the full moon comes into Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card, no matter when you pull it. However, take note that Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of people in your networks. Leo full moon is a time to release pride. Bruh, Leo season. And then the next card, well, the next moon is the You Are Good Enough full moon in Virgo, because that will be the next full moon, right? So Virgo season could also be coming in with a bang. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Attune to the moon. Find balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your life. Additional meanings for this card. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. The teaching. The full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home, and your office. It's the time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies via salt baths and meditations, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. So, one, we were talking about recognizing the power of our words, our communication, like becoming more confident with how we communicate, right? I was talking about how we could also be learning to be more quiet, where our words are more effective when we do talk because we are choosing them wisely. We're being impeccable with our words, so we're doing a lot less fluff and wasting our breath, and we're being more impeccable with our word. And here it says, you don't have to be flash. I think it should say flashy. Just quietly certain that you are good enough. And that's what I mean. It's like a balance of who was I talking about? Where he's kind of chill and romantic, but he don't be doing too much. Like that's the kind of energy. Very laid back, like a quiet confidence, a cool confidence. Okay. And then it says, have you been too picky? And that's what that don't let pride get in your way card says to me. It's like, are you looking for something to be just the way that you want it to be? And I know that that may sound selfish, but I also think that it's good when we know what we need, and we can express what we need and not be open to receiving it in ways that you didn't think of, but not to not receive it. I don't think that we should. It was 1:11:22 on the clock. So it says the full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. So have we been too picky? And then, I was going through the different houses, and most of the energy was like, how can we make it easier to move forward? What can we clear out of our way to get us to where we're trying to go? What is stopping us from moving forward? What are the blocks? What is the issue? Like clearing stuff out so we can make room for what is for us. Like seeing how we got where we are, okay? And then recognizing what the next step is. Find balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your life. I was talking about that, where it's like you could be like communicating and you're learning to speak your truth and you're learning to communicate better and whatever, sell yourself, whatever, as far as like how you talk. But then you're also trying to make sure you don't like burn yourself out. You're doing things in moderation that works for you, and not really stressing over it, like really being able to be truly in the moment. Okay. All right. What else did it say? The salt baths and meditations. I said to practice more grounding. I always say put our ass in the grass, but this one told us to walk barefoot. Yeah. And then get healthier. That's an energy too. Is to get healthier. This I've already read meditate and contemplate in a previous reading. I do put the hashtags of the cards in my descriptions so that you can see what cards popped out. And you'll see where a lot of these cards have popped out before. So we're going to read Be Bold and Make This First Move. I haven't received this card in a little while. So, excuse me. Be bold and make the first move, Cardinal Moon. Now is the time to be bold, bossy even. Take matters into your own hands. Cardinal signs are powerful and self starting. They're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all those things to get your ideal resolution or position in the situation you're asking about. This card may challenge you on how strongly you really want something. If you're worrying about a situation, it is a suggestion to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way to step up as a leader. Attune to the moon. I am taking charge of my destiny. Be bold and follow your heart and your emotions. Avoid recklessness or moving too fast. Come into your power. The time for action is now. Ask Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god, for help. Ganesha. The teaching. In astrology, there are three quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Remember, we each have all 12 signs in our chart for different parts of our lives. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. These are the signs that like to get things started and which are the natural leaders no matter when you draw this card. It's a sign that something new is starting and you quite possibly need to take the lead on it. I hope that resonates because that falls right in line with um this Leo energy that's coming up, right? But also with this Capricorn full moon. Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign, and we're in a cardinal full moon or a Capricorn full moon. Leo represents leadership as well, being represented by the sun, confident, charismatic, creative. Okay. So you see the overlaps with a lot of this. So we all have these soft differences, but then there are these more general similarities. So it's like we're more alike than we are different, which I like. Okay. So some of us are being called to be leaders, to be bold, make the first move. Recognize that Leo and Virgo season are going to be pretty significant. There's Pisces energy out here as well. All right. I guess I'll go ahead and do a roomie. So, oh, I don't even have roomie over here. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's do an angel number then. I think this is like the first full moon in a long time where I haven't done a roomie card. I don't even see. Oh, here it is. Oh, something already jumped out. It's face down, so we'll wait. I'm gonna leave it out. Last week we got a bunch of 1s and 4s. And I didn't even realize we got 7777. I think we got it before the portal, and we might have gotten it like I don't know, at the bottom of that. We definitely got it, or it may have been. We got it around the portal or on the portal. Oh, we'll find out. Oh wow, we have one card that popped out during shuffle. Y'all ready for the big? I'm gonna put these face down. Oh, you can see it a little bit. I don't know what it was, but I'm gonna put these face down. One card. Oh, bruh. Oh my goodness. We had 11:11 on the clock earlier. So y'all be seeing how stuff like that be happening. And then I be over here asking myself and my spirit team, like, what you want me to do with that? Because I'm confused. Wish come true. Moderation, patience, flowing, self-realization, manifestation, gateway, taking action. You're in for a lucky break. It may come as happy news, experience, new opportunities, or an exciting acquaintance. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. It is not a coincidence, but a gift from fate. Listen, I'm gonna take. This came up on the clock. I had a whole. I prayed and everything when this popped up. Wish come true. So we just gotta take the initiative. Like just go for what we want. Express what we need and let it be. And look, 14, 14. What I said, we got ones and fours last week, right? 14, 14. Light up. Mood swings, respect, family, constructive outlook, quality. Focus on your needs, desires, and hobbies. That's what I just said. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude. You will be blessed with new opportunities, a new friend, or an addition to your family. Good vibes will speed up the process. So it's all about like alignment and like new. And then we're being called to follow our hearts and how we feel. We're being called to be bold, to be the leader, to not be prideful, but to make the first move or to make a move, like to express what we need and leave it there. Okay. Should I pull one more? Should I pull something else? We had some really good messages though the other night. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So always go within so you never go without, like Mystic Tori says. I love you, but God loves you more, like Worldwide Speaks. And over here at MiSpot, we stay connected to the one that sits high, looks low, and sees everything. And happy full moon in Capricorn. Happy birthday to the Cancers. We'll see you here again next week. Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night.